The theater of modern conflict grows more complex daily. Rapid technological integration of battlefield transforms raw kinetic attrition into a grim test of human endurance. Ukrainian theater have starkly validated this. Deploying North Korean combat units to support the Russian offensive has fundamentally escalated this theater of war and established a dangerous precedent in global security. We will analyze the tactical impact of lethal firepower of main battle tanks and how advanced combat systems dominate the front. We see a fatal vulnerability in Pyongyang's forces against advanced assets, while Russian command material as a cheap, expendable resource. The following battlefield footage will serve as a stark warning that modern conflict is not merely a tactical exercise but a profound human. Tragedy. Across the frozen open sectors of Kursk, a high-stakes engagement unfolded as North Korean elements attempted Ukrainian defensive positions. These allied foreign troops assaulted without armored support, relying solely on light organic infantry rifles. But this offensive vector was tactically bankrupt from its inception. Scattered and fleeing on foot, the troops were completely outmatched by Ukraine's advanced defense technology network. These newly forces completely devoid of modern tactical training became simple target practice. Ukrainian drone operators rapidly detected the disorganized enemy movement, coordinating precision aerial strikes directly into their midst. Upon initial impact, the hostile elements broke formation in panic, searching for cover, but the barren, frozen landscape offered zero cover. Wave after wave of FPV systems took flight, neutralizing threat targets with lethal precision. This relentless kinetic attrition completely shattered both the unit's operational morale and their operational capacity to advance. The sheer friction of modern combat was illustrated when two Korean soldiers attempted to engage an incoming drone. As one rifleman raised his weapon to track the threat, he panicked, firing directly into his own comrade. This tragic blue-on-blue incident illustrates the critical lack of training among these imported forces. This failure highlights their severe deficit readiness. To compound the kinetic effects, Ukrainian forces integrated the Mk-19 automatic. This asset unleashed a high volume of high-explosive fire directly into the enemy's lanes of approach. The Mk-19 functions as a premier area denial system designed to shred infantry wave lightly armored targets. Cycling 375 rounds per minute out to a range of 2 kilometers, this heavy weapon system decimated the enemy's squad-level maneuvers. The devastating, concussive, lethal fragmentation dispersion left absolutely zero safe space for the personnel. As the operation progressed, heavy armor was committed, rapidly shifting the tactical balance. Between both militaries thoroughly tested each side's strategic doctrine and capabilities. In sectors holding these foreign troops, Ukrainian main battle tanks dominated through superior ballistic protection and advanced fire control systems. These assets were vital in shattering the defenses of Russian and Allied personnel. Following a localized breakthrough, Ukrainian troops captured 2 North Korean combatants. How Pyongyang systematically deceived its own forces. The prisoners claimed they had no believing they were executing a routine training.
Не знає. Ви перебуваєте в Україні. Йому казали, що просто тренували.
Exercise. This debrief highlights not just the severe tactical deficit of these forces, but also their absolute exploitation as strategic political pawns. These prisoners prove attrition but a war of information. Their debriefings provide critical intelligence on the true realities behind the theater. We analyze a pivotal tactical action, a Ukrainian machine gunner suppressing hostile strong and exposed position atop a tank. This action demonstrates the absolute necessity of tactical composure under direct fire. Next, a Ukrainian M2 Bradley fighting vehicle directly engaged a Russian armored vehicle, prompting an intense firefight. This forced the panicked Russian crew to abandon their armored vehicle while it was still in motion. Under continuous barrage, panic sets in. The targeted armored vehicle ignites completely unusable. Friendly intelligence intercepts a Russian column advancing toward our defensive sectors. Assessing this vector, operators deploy loitering munitions, sending kamikaze drones to strike the advancing armor. These strikes prove my thesis: technology remains the decisive factor in modern high-intensity conflict. Drone units systematically neutralize enemy armor, leaving Russian vehicles burning in the open. They simply cannot withstand this relentless aerial attrition. Infantry scramble into the tree line seeking cover. But against thermal optics, these desperate evasion maneuvers are completely futile. Elsewhere, a precise kinetic strike hits a main battle tank directly on the turret ring, disabling its fire controls. It is a clear demonstration of drone lethality on today's battlefield. Once the platform is neutralized, drone feeds immediately begin tracking the survivor. Concurrently, our aerial reconnaissance assets detect two more enemy armored personnel carriers moving toward the forest. The lead vehicle is engaged and neutralized after several coordinated drone strikes. In my estimation, this campaign is a physical clash and a chess match for technological supremacy. The second carrier successfully dismounts its infantry complement inside the tree line. A futile maneuver. Our defensive squads quickly coordinate to eliminate both the vehicle and the dismounted squad. We eliminated the threat entirely using a single well-placed Javelin missile. Abrams tanks and Bradley fighting vehicles sweep Zone K, systematically purging the forest of remaining hostile elements. Once again, disciplined combined arms tactics tipped the local balance of power in our favor. These engagements lay bare the cold, uncompromising complexity of modern near-peer warfare. Untrained, poorly equipped, and doctrinally lost North Korean troops are suffering catastrophic attrition rates. Mobilized by state ideology, they stand completely exposed against superior tactics and sent into the meat grinder without clear objectives. They barely understand their strategic purpose here. They serve as expendable pawns on a map. As an officer, I see this as a grim failure of military ethics, a profound human tragedy. This conflict proves how lethal modern weapons are and how fragile the human element remains under sustained fire. Yet it also demonstrates the sheer resilience of forces fighting for sovereign survival. Every life lost is permanently recorded in the historical annals of our struggle. This stand serves as a lesson in resistance forever etched into global military history for all of humanity.